morning, welcome to CoinTalk. Today I have a ton of charts to show because Bitcoin is bouncing and everything is looking incredibly bullish. So let's start with a coin that I just top blasted, which is called 𝗕𝗟𝗙𝗙𝗏. I usually don't top blast, but this chart just looks way too good. This is going to be a very quick scalp. I entered at 21 million, 21.5, and I'm going to be looking for an exit at right around 30 million market cap. I usually don't do this. I did this with Bitcoin and I'm doing it now with FAT because this is a very good meme and because Joe Rogan talked about it. Big comedians talked about it. Even Diplo liked some of the posts on this meme coin, and this is exploding on my Insta. And the reason why I bought it is because I saw this on my Insta before I saw it even on Dex Screener. I usually don't buy these coins, but this time I just had to because it's actually super funny. And so if we draw a quick trend line here at support has been holding very nicely since at least the 27th of March. I mean, every single day, whales are scooping this stuff at support. I felt it was kind of secure to at least stop blast this right here, right before a new all-time high, and then exit on a quick scalp. On to the next one. This one has been exploding recently, but this is the type of chart that I don't recommend anyone buy. Look at this. I mean, what the hell is this? So I'm not gonna buy this trump card. I'm gonna wait for a real pullback and see if there's still some volume, if there's a decent entry, but I'm just not gonna buy this at this level. This is very sketchy. If I were you, I would just stay away from these types of charts. At least wait for a massive pullback or something. Even if it pumps, like, just don't FOMO into this. Wait for your entry. But yeah, I do not like these charts. Now let's get on to another chart that's very funny as well and has been doing quite well, and that is 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Resistance, resistance, and now resistance again. And it's pulling back from resistance. So where is it kind of safe to grab this beta to 𝗘𝗏𝗥𝗏? I would honestly say something like 7 million market cap is probably a good entry. And also 7 million market cap not only matches this trend line that has been acting as support since April 1st, once, twice, three, four times, but also matches very similar to this other resistance. Look, resistance here, and then turned into support line at 7.2. This is where I would be looking for an entry because it's very clear to this support and resistance line and this trend line. This I think is a good entry for 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 if you're looking to enter a 𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 beta. Another one that's very interesting and I've been talking about for quite a while, and this is the most important chart for meme coins, is Fartcoin. Look, the support line has been holding since 29th of March. Okay, this support line is very important, not only for Fartcoin, but all meme coins. And it's holding quite nicely. So let's see what happens now that Bitcoin is bouncing. Let's see how high Fartcoin goes. And I would say it's still in and very likely impossible that it can go and touch that $1 billion market cap level. Otherwise, we're going to see these other support lines hold the price. And we don't want to see that, of course. Then when it comes to 𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, we saw an all-time high, close to 40 million, and now we saw another high. For an entry, honestly, I think for a quick scalp, maybe 20, maybe 19 million market cap would be good to enter and then exit here, and you could scalp this and maybe get something like a 40%, or wait for a deeper correction and wait for this other support line, which look, was support in March, was resistance in the 29th of March, acted as support here twice, and it could come and touch it a third time at 15 million market cap, maybe wait for a deeper correction and then a bounce. But I think it's very possible that we see 𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 have a deeper correction just like 𝗕𝗟𝗏𝗙𝗏 did, and possibly even come into the 8 million market cap zone. If it comes to 8 million, that's where I'm going to load up the truck on 𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. If it comes to 15 million, I'll scalp. If it comes to 20 million, I'll scalp. But at 8 million, I'll load the truck and hold it for a little bit longer. Then when it comes to house, look, support, hold. Look at this trend line where support just held a bunch of times. Remember I said, you guys, and then we came and we made a brand new all-time high, a little bit above 10 million market cap. Now I'm looking to enter this. I exited, by the way, at all-time high, but now I'm looking to re-enter this trade. So where would I re-enter? I'm thinking 6 million is a good place to re-enter house right here because this was resistance 31st of March. It was also resistance here, also sort of acted as support very recently. To me, this is a good entry. And from the current point, it's just another 30% pullback. And on a very bullish case scenario, we would see a pullback to only 7.9, maybe 8 million market cap, and it comes and touches this support line, which was resistance also quite a few times. And on a very bullish house coin, you see accumulation around this zone, and whales will not let it even go deeper. But if you're trying to accumulate this, I would leave a limit order here on Axiom, which by the way, the link is down below if you want to trade on Axiom, which I think is the best trading terminal for trading all of these coins on Solana. But that's what I'm seeing on Housecoin. And then after this, what we will see is very likely going to see something like a 20 million market cap for Housecoin. Then a brand new chart that I haven't talked about, but I was actually one of the first people to talk about this coin, which is Grass. Look, very clear support line here at 300 million market cap. There's going to be some resistance right around 766 million market cap because it acted as resistance once and twice, and also as support one time. If we see Grass go to 766 million, I think it's possible we see then a pullback to buy back. Probably it comes back to this level of 520 million. If we see Grass retrace, this is where you're probably looking to buy it, right around 350 million market cap. But if we break this line, or when Grass breaks this line, it's definitely time for new all-time highs and it going to $1 billion market cap. This is an interesting AI protocol. Not a lot of people talk about it. Basically, they scrape your data and they sell it, and you get a percentage of whatever revenue they're generating by scraping your data. And I think Grass has some potential. This is a very, very interesting meme. I was also one of the first to talk about it, and it's called AWR. I really like this meme. I bought it today. Very clear support. Look, support throughout almost all of January, support on the 24th of February, support line on the 10th of March, and now support again. And it's currently sitting at $1 million market cap, and the top was 14 million. And this was right before we had the Trump, Meta, and all of these celebrities launching rug pulls like Milei and politicians. But this has a very, very strong community. And if there's a chart that looks like this, that looks done and can have a comeback, that is AWR. I think if you're looking for a 10x and you have patience, this could be it. The next resistance line, I think, will be something like 10 million market cap. I think this is one of those charts that redoes something like this. It just goes straight up very fast because their community is insane and they're all just going to bag hold this into probably new all-time highs. I do have some AWR and I'm bullish AWR, and I do like their community. The whole thing about them is all will retire. We are all going to hold the coin and retire together. I have some and I see it as more of a long-term hold. Maybe we can have a return to holding meme coins for a longer period of time. Then remember KEYCAT. Look, I've done nothing to the chart, still the same chart. It's currently sitting at that support line, very important support line, which is 30 million, between 30 and 27 million market cap. This is a very important level for KEYCAT. If KEYCAT wants to survive, it needs to bounce from here. Do I think KEYCAT is going to bounce and pull something like a 5x? Yeah, because it's one of the most important memes on base. But let's see what happens. Currently, that's where we are at. I said it either bounces or comes to the other support line. It's now at the second support line, and this is the most important support line because if it doesn't survive this, then I think KEYCAT is done. Now on base, we have a very interesting project which is called ALCH. Let me draw this trend line. Look, the price is just basically coiling up. Once it breaks this, how high can it go? If we draw a fib line, I think a good level to exit would be this one, 160, or this one, 215. 80% gains or 139%. So you can get a 2.2x here, or you can get 80% on your money here on something that's relatively new. I think this is a trading terminal and platform. It's an interesting protocol that's been doing quite well and gaining some attention, doing good volume on base. Brand new. I would honestly wait for it to come and retest the support, and if it breaks below the support, I would sell and not wait much longer. But if the support holds and it starts trending upwards, these are the levels I would be looking at for my exits on ALCH. Now let's look at doginme. Similar to KEYCAT, doginme is one of the best memes and one of the oldest on base. I did nothing to the chart. Look, came back to the support line. This is a good entry on doginme. 43 million market cap. doginme got recent very, very important listings. I think it will bounce from the support line, and if it does, what we are looking at is a bit more than a 2x since it pulled back deeper, a 2.2x on your money if it comes and then retests this previous very, very strong resistance, which is 121 million market cap. But honestly, if there's a meme coin that can probably survive it and has a very, very strong community, it's doginme. But like I was saying, I did nothing to this chart. It came, it touched this obvious support line, and now we're gonna wait and see. I do think this is a good entry. This is probably as good of an entry as you're gonna get on doginme. Now let's talk about a meme coin I've been talking about very recently, which is Spinning Cat. Again, these guys have been teasing me. The truth is, I had a $5 million entry on it, and I upped my entry to start accumulating at 6.8 million market cap. So I upped my entry a little bit. Look at this resistance, look at this. It then turned into support. Then it went and turned into resistance again. It was also support here. It was also resistance here again. I do think it's gonna come at least into this resistance support line of 6.8 million market cap. And so I'm not gonna wait for 5 million. I'm gonna start accumulating spinning cat right around 6 million market cap. And as you can see, I put my limit order at this level. I will stack more limit orders lower if I see it come to this level. Like I said, 5.5 million market cap, but spinning cat is one of the best cat meme coins on Solana. If we see PopCat come back alive from the dead, this one will probably outperform it. Speaking of charts that I've been talking about recently, let's talk about ALCH. I've done nothing to this chart. Look, support, 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 and it bounced from support. And I think now it will start accelerating into its next resistance line. And the resistance line is going to be 150 million market cap. That's the target for ALCH. I do think it's on its path to 150 million. If it comes and touches support again and it breaks support, bad news. But I think what this chart is saying is the price wants to go up. There's a ton of people that were shorting ALCH. We could even see a short squeeze on ALCH. Also, don't forget ALCH is listed on basically all the major exchanges. And so this could have a very, very fast and violent move if Bitcoin keeps performing the way it has been performing today. Then this is a very interesting project, which is the 𝗕𝗟𝗙𝗪 coin. I actually told myself I would buy 𝗕𝗟𝗙𝗪 coin if it went down 95%, and guess what? It is now down 95%. The absolute pico bottoms for projects and also meme coins. And so I am looking to enter Colt here because I don't think that there's a lot of downside to it here at this level. I think this is probably as bad as this chart's gonna look. And so I'm gonna take some risk and buy some 𝗕𝗟𝗙𝗪 coin right around 27.7 million market cap. As soon as I'm done with this video, I'm gonna buy some Colt. Like I've said previously a ton of times, I think this is one of the most creative projects in crypto. If there's a community that can bring back a chart from the dead, it has to be the 𝗕𝗟𝗙s for sure. So thank you very much, guys. I will be seeing you guys tomorrow, and I'm going to do a tutorial on how to use Axiom and how to trade on Axiom. Thank you very much.